For this lesson plan analysis, I looked at Chapter 5 from Open Minds to Equality, which was called Expanding Our Vistas, Our Lives to Others' Lives. This chapter includes 3 sections with a total of 11 activities. Section 1 is titled New Perspectives to See the World. Section 2 is titled Sharing Who We Are. And Section 3 is Others' Shoes, Others' Views. Overall, these lessons are very well constructed. They focus a lot on multiple perspectives, and it seeks to discard the mainstream stereotypical view of learning certain things. James Banks defines the contributions approach as the first attempt to integrate content. It focuses on heroes, holidays, and discrete cultural elements. However, it fails to recognize hardships and usually reinforces stereotypes. This lesson somewhat avoided this approach. There was not much focus on heroes or holidays. However, in one particular activity called That's What You Brought for Lunch, students are given a written scenario of 2 Mexican-American kids who got made fun of at lunch for bringing something unusual, which was tortillas. So this was kind of a cultural element that reinforced a stereotype. The objective of this activity was to help students understand what it feels like to be made fun of because of racial or ethnic backgrounds, and realize that people from different racial or ethnic backgrounds are people with whom they have many things in common. However, I think this stereotypes Mexican-American kids and may humiliate ones who are in the class. The additive approach is defined as the addition of content, concepts, themes, and perspectives without changing the basic structure, purpose, or characteristics of the curriculum. The downfall of this is that the perspective is mainstream. Again, the lessons I looked at came from a whole book of lessons and provides ideas for content throughout the year. They add on to each other and each different chapter. I think this is good. It's not simply a throw this in for Black History Month kind of deal. Several times throughout the chapter, it points out ideas or techniques that you can use throughout the whole year, such as the seeing eyeglasses, which is a technique to help children analyze situations from many different perspectives. So all in all, this approach is not really relevant in this lesson, but I think it's for the good. That brings me to the transformation approach, which changes the basic assumptions of curriculum and enables students to view concepts, issues, themes, and problems from several ethnic perspectives and points of view. This is very much so accomplished throughout these lessons. It tries to change the basic assumptions and views of a variety of groups, from immigrants to a child with disabilities, to one with lesbian moms, or to a Muslim who doesn't celebrate Christmas. In the lesson New to America, the children read a conversation between Glaris and Juan Carlos. Glaris is a documented immigrant, while Juan Carlos is an undocumented immigrant. This lesson helps students learn about some of the struggles immigrants face, and even different struggles between documented and undocumented. What I love most about the lesson is that there are no negative connotations for immigrants, documented or undocumented, but instead just helps kids learn about some of the challenges they may face and encourages them to notice the similarities they also have. The last approach is social action, which includes all elements of the transformation approach, but adds components that require students to make decisions and take actions related to the concept, issue, or problem studied. These lessons emphasized social action through critical thinking questions like, in real life, when we look at a situation only from one point of view, it's like wearing only one pair of glasses. When has this happened recently in your life? Watch for this during the day. So questions like those really make the kids think about things in their life and then try to think about taking action to it in the future. That was from the Seeing Eyeglass lesson. It also encourages social action by getting other classes and or families involved. In the Who Are We lesson, if kids want to do a substantial presentation on their background, they can have an open house night, parents' night, or present to another class. In the lesson I talked about with the lunches, it says at the end of the lesson you could have parents come in with various ethnic foods, or you could research recipes of ethnic foods and then create a cookbook and sell it to raise money. I love all the ways the lessons encourage social action. Overall, most of the lessons and activities are phenomenal and would be so great in the classroom. The only lesson I was not so sure about was the lunch one, where it stereotyped Mexican Americans, but I did like the follow-up at the end that talked about the social action related to that lesson. A better approach to that lesson may be to show a wide range of ethnic foods. Something else I might add to this whole chapter is a section with heroes. The lessons did not address this at all, and I think it would be a really good addition to the New to America lesson about immigrants. After the kids learn about the struggles that the immigrants faced and the feelings that felt, I think it would be great to teach them about a couple of successful people who were immigrants, such as Steve Chen and Yahweh Karim, the co-founders of YouTube, or Anne Elizabeth Claiborne, a woman who made herself known as a fashion designer and a businesswoman. I think that just showing these kids some people who overcame those struggles and became very successful would reinforce a positive thinking about immigrants in them. Other than those couple things, I think this whole chapter and the lessons within it were done very well. I love the activities and would definitely use them in my future classroom.